Hello teacups, what's brewing? I'm early on this. She uploaded this about 4 hours ago. It's about 7 a.m. where I am because I woke up at 5:30 because I've got my own health update for you today, and that was that I had dental surgery yesterday from about 7:30 p.m. to about 7:30-ish, maybe slightly later. So I'm guessing all the pain for that hasn't kicked in just yet. I look a bit rough because I'm not wearing foundation because I'm icing my face on and off to try and keep swelling down. If you are squeamish about dental information, I'll put a timestamp somewhere so you don't have to listen to it. I've had an impacted wisdom tooth forever, basically, but it's never hurt me. When I was in Saudi, I was going to have it removed because I went to the dentist and he was like, oh, and I had dental insurance then, so he was like, oh yeah, you might as well, it's going to hurt at some point, have it taken out. But unfortunately the doctor, I think they had to go to Mecca, something like that, and they cancelled on me. I couldn't get it redone before I left Saudi, and so it was in there. Now, 2 years later, it had started to hurt. Unfortunately, because it's impacted, it was only just poking slightly out of my jaw. It was right at the back of the bottom. And it was literally half of the top was out of the jaw, and that part was just decayed, and the decay was reaching down. And because it was deeper than all my other teeth, and my teeth go quite deep anyway, it was pressing against the nerve, which was causing pain all the way down here. So I had to have that out, and this is where it gets a bit squeamish, so sorry. But because it was deep and because it wasn't really over the gum line, they just had to saw straight into the bone to remove it. The sound of that saw will stay with me for a while. It was disgusting. Oh, I hated it. I should have put some earphones in, but I had them in my bag, and then they started, and I didn't want to stop him because I didn't want to elongate the procedure. And it was awful. I was just shaking because I was scared. I don't love the dentist. I knew he would never purposely hurt me, but things happen. And with it pressing on the nerve, he was a little bit worried. He showed me the x-rays, and the nerve you could see, but then it disappeared around the tooth, so they didn't know how it was interacting, and he was a bit worried I was going to have permanent feeling loss in my bottom lip. So he said, look, we'll call you tomorrow, tell me if the feeling hasn't come back so we're aware, but it just know that it's a possibility because we don't know how the nerve is interacting with the tooth right now. Fortunately, that hasn't been the case, and I'm back. But I woke up this morning, I iced my face, I took my medicine, I have an antibiotic, and because I've got stitches back here, and I have over-the-counter paracetamol. Because some people on Twitter were like, oh, you're going to get good drugs for that, right? They're going to give you something with codeine, or they're going to give you, opiate? I don't even know if that's legal here. Certainly it would be heavily controlled. But even in the UK, they don't do that. I know America's a little more open with this stuff, but when my sister had something similar done with her impacted wisdom tooth years ago, I'm talking early 2000s, she had a friend who coincidentally had gone through something similar the year before, and her friend in America was given Vicodin, and she was given paracetamol and a note saying, I know that it's tempting to poke at it to see how it's feeling, but for the love of God, don't touch it. I'm paraphrasing slightly, but that was basically what it said. So I don't think it's even common to have super strong painkillers in the UK for stuff like this, but they did offer me some NSAIDs, but unfortunately I can't take NSAIDs. So he said, look, if it gets too bad, he gave me a script that I can go to a hospital and get some kind of paracetamol through an IV, which I would rather avoid, but it gets absorbed quicker and it would impact me better. And he said, if it gets super bad, if it's unbearable, don't live with it, come back to the clinic and we might be able to do something with local anesthetic to get you through the worst, because probably today is going to be the worst. But it hasn't hit yet because, like I said, I got up at 5:30, took the things. The biggest trouble I'm having right now is I have to take a lot of things with food, but I don't want to eat. But I can't have them on an empty stomach, so it will just tear my stomach apart. So I made some overnight oats and I took a few spoonfuls of that. It's a little difficult to open my mouth super wide at the moment because it's all in sort of the bend of the jaw, and that's starting to swell up a little bit. I've got water in a mug They told me no hot drinks, so no coffee today. I suppose I could have iced coffee, but it's a bit early for introducing that to my mouth. So it's in a straw, it's not a paper straw. I took what they had in the little store I went into. Apologies to the planet. I've got the day off work today, I've got the weekend, and then I'm back in. I've got to have the stitches out. They said 7 to 10 days, so I've made an appointment for 7 days and they'll take a look. But that's why I look the way I look, and that's why I might get grouchier as this goes on. I thought get in it early because I don't know how I'm going to feel later, and I'll let the light do much of the heavy lifting because I refuse to filter. So here you are, 41 and post-dental surgery. This is how it looks. Let's get into Chantal, shall we? We're going to take a podcast style today because she uploaded a blank screen, and it'll just be easier to listen to her. So let's get into the video.
Hi guys, so
Hi.
I'm sure most of you have been waiting for this.
I don't necessarily think waiting, but there were some questions like, where is she? Did she get banned again? Which is completely possible, let's face it. But I do think, quite coincidentally, Mr. Snowflake put out a little thing saying, oh, the next part of the foodie thing is coming. I believe she's ill. She's got so many things wrong with her, I can't believe she wouldn't be ill. But yeah, she's suddenly back. I'm not saying it didn't happen, I'm saying it's coincidental that it always happens, but in this case, I do believe she's also ill.
I apologize in advance for the quality of this video.
There's no video.
Because...
For the record, I do not apologize in advance for the quality of mine. Hi, this is me.
Even put pictures up for you, I can't. It's not going to be edited, so there's going to be a lot of pauses and stuff like that.
There always are.
Well, I'm alive. Barely. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Go to the doctor. She's going to talk about this fairly soon, but if you ever wanted an indicator that she's got no healthcare available, it's not because she feels this bad, it's because she doesn't have it. And we'll talk about that a little bit when she talks about changing doctor.
I think it was, the 19th, maybe around noon. I started feeling really dizzy.
It's the 23rd now, it's been 4 days.
And nauseous. And I just want to sleep. So I went to bed. And it just kind of went downhill from there. I had chills, fever. I don't know if you guys have ever had a fever dream.
I have. I woke up in the middle of the night, went into my parents' room and told them we need to go get our water rations. I was dreaming something. They gave me some paracetamol and they were like, go to bed, go to sleep.
Oh my gosh, they're so weird. So those were fun. I would wake up drenched in sweat. That's still happening, but waking up drenched in sweat. I haven't eaten anything since the 19th, except for I tried having water, and then I tried having water with salt, sea salt and lemon.
I understand the idea of sea salt and lemon, I guess, as kind of a natural sports drink kind of thing, but I think you would need sugar for that. But I can't imagine her not eating is helping her here. This is why she needs to just go and see someone, because she's got so many health issues and her diabetes is so bad. She can't just stop eating without supervision, because as high as her blood sugar is, that's going to cause dangerous swings, especially as she's meant to be on medication for it.
And that's just too gross. And I know I'll throw it up, so I only threw up once, but the nausea's bad. I had a few berries, fresh blueberries. Those were pretty good, but I don't have really much of an appetite, but I'm gonna try, for energy's sake, to have something healthy.
I wouldn't trust for a second what she considers healthy, especially with all her problems, but in general, she needs to see somebody.
Just even a few bites, because I want to try to get the energy to go see a doctor.
Call a clinic. Just see if you can set up a phone appointment, if nothing else, and describe it. If she's bedbound, if she cannot get out. And I've had times where I've felt so ill, I haven't been able to. But yeah, she just can't. She can't just lie there. She'll die.
I'll have to keep you guys updated on what happens at the doctor.
And that's another thing. If she doesn't have the energy to upload a video, but she can podcast it, she can have a phone call. I don't think it's usual to do that here, but I do wonder how her status is impacting it here. There's been quite a lot of upheaval in Kuwait right now. There's been some changes in how the government is working. There's been some crackdowns. She has a status as a tourist, so I don't think anyone's going to just straight throw her out. But I know there have been checks in like family apartments to see if anyone single is living there. Usually when they say single, they mean like single men. So you don't know how that's going to impact anything. Her situation is more precarious than it has been. And with some of the changes going on at the governmental level right now, I don't know what she's able to access at the moment. I don't know if that's changing certain things. And I very much doubt she knows either, and maybe that's why she hasn't gone to the hospital yet.
So, I think this has been the most sick I've ever been in my life, honestly.
She's been the ER multiple times. If this is the sickest, why isn't she in the ER now? Again, maybe because of the situation that's happening there right now. Even like I went to a private clinic for my dental because I don't have dental insurance, and I paid privately. It was about $140 to get this removed, so $400-ish, $360-ish. But they still took my ID card. They still took like my ID number, because in order to get, they do it as a standard for the appointment, but in order to get the sick form, you have to do it through the Ministry of Health portal, and the Ministry of Health email it to you so you can submit it to your work. So there are still, even when paying privately, like a discourse you have to have with various bodies.
I don't know how to explain it, just like headache, dizzy, the nausea, the chills, the fever, being thirsty.
Given how many other things she's got wrong with her, I would find all of these pretty terrifying. Like, we don't know, and you have to acknowledge this, as horrible as it sounds. We don't know how much of this is exaggeration and lies. It's completely plausible she would feel this way. It's also completely plausible that she would bait feeling this way in order to get attention and to distract. So it kind of sucks she's put herself in this position all around, really, because the support she obviously wants isn't necessarily something she's going to get.
I know, it's coincidentally, I get sick right after I go see the Camel again, and it
might be a coincidence with all your other health issues, might not be.
Spits in my face. I don't know if it's related to that, it could be.
But we won't see a doctor.
Usually with camels, it's you're at risk of getting Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome.
This is crazy to me because she also has breathing issues. Like, she does things out of spite, thinking it's gonna hurt us. People were like, hey, maybe don't go play with camels when you don't know what you're gonna catch and they spit and there's danger. And so she did it to spite everyone, and here we are. And she admits in a minute that the first time made her sick as well. So I'm like, are you seriously? Seriously?
Or MERS. It's a form of COVID, which attacks your respiratory system, and mine is okay. I mean, I'm heavy breathing a little bit now because I spent.
You have a history of blood clots, and your body is under a huge amount of pressure anyway. You're not okay.
Most of my time in bed, laying down with my CPAP, and yeah, like 24/7. I have sores inside my nose that are really painful.
That's weird. Guys, if you are medically minded in the medical field, that was something that was a little bit odd. I haven't researched this video because it's not been up for long and I've been doing other things. But if that is a signal of anything particular, either with her health issues or with the Camel, please let me know, because that is unusual for her. Having sores inside your nose is an unusual symptom. So I'd be tempted, given that she has so many things wrong with her, that would be the one that I would be tempted to go and get looked at. Like, yes, the other stuff, I need this, I need you to help me with this, because she's been to the ER for everything else. Why isn't she in the ER right now? But if it's a new symptom right now, it seems like that would be the thing changing.
I don't know where they come from. I don't know if it's from the CPAP or what, but I've had to like just, try my best to just rest. I've just been sleeping, honestly. I didn't even have the energy to answer people.
Yeah, she was checking comments, but she wasn't talking to them. Because when she does get support, why would she try and be nice to them?
I did answer them eventually, but like for the first couple of days, I was like out. So if you messaged me and you didn't get a response, it's nothing personal. I'm just, not well. So I don't even have the energy to talk and explain to everybody. So that's why I'm doing this.
But you do have the energy and talk to explain to everybody because you're doing it. Not to a doctor, bizarrely, but you're doing this. So you're picking your priorities here.
Video. I don't know when I'll be all right. I don't know if I'll have to go into the hospital. I hope not, but I have a feeling that I'll need to probably get on some fluids or something. So
why, I know she feels terrible, but why has she delayed that then? Is it because of her status? Is it because of the cost attached to it? We don't know. Like I said, with everything going on in Kuwait right now, I don't know what has changed that might make it more difficult. Or I don't know if maybe she just doesn't know and so she's scared to do it.
I've just been in bed praying and praying and praying until I fall asleep and, asking for mercy and help to feel better.
I'm not belittling the power of prayer because it forms an enormously important part of lots of people's lives, but I think she needs some medicine. Regardless of what your belief system is, you're also going to need support in the more corporal plane.
And promising to take care of my health and ask for forgiveness for damaging my health the way I have. Taking it for granted.
How long has she been a Muslim now, though? If I understand that it's a process, I do. And again, I realize that I might sound very dismissive, but she's claimed to be a Muslim for a couple of years now. She hasn't made the changes. She's not going to make the changes. I don't think she's capable of making the changes. Even when scared, it doesn't last more than a day.
Like a joke. I don't care if I have an eating disorder or food addiction or whatever the part of my language, the fuck it is. It's something I have to take control of. I hate when people are like, it's not your fault. You don't have control over this.
Excuse me? You hate it when people are like that? You actively engage and encourage people like that. You block people who don't say that to you. You hate it. It's not our fault. Look at how she tried to turn that on her audience then. You hate it when people say that. Get out of here. You cling to it.
Like in some programs and some beliefs about how to tackle binge eating.
How's the intuitive eating going?
What if that's been my problem the whole time?
What, other people? Other people have been your problem this whole time?
I was thinking I'm powerless. So I'm gonna start trying to eat healthy, small amounts, maybe some soup.
Dude, if you're throwing up, you gotta go to the doctor first. I don't know the situation, but you gotta go to the doctor first. Anybody who has her health issues, if you're getting to the point where it's 4 or 5 days on, I know it's foodie, I know we don't know the real case, but one thing I would acknowledge, whether she did it to herself or not, whether she exasperates it herself or not, she is in danger not taking care of her health because her health is precarious.
Something like this, vegetable soup, I don't know. And I have to talk to the doctor about all that stuff.
That would be a start.
Because, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm eating the right things. And I think I'll go see a different doctor this time for another opinion.
What opinion are you hoping for here? I don't think any of them are going to say fast food. You know is as much as she says about that. Here's what I think about that. I don't know if she feels comfortable going back to the private clinics. They might be asking more questions, or maybe she doesn't have access. Or he might just have very bluntly said, hey, you keep coming back, you keep not making changes. I'm not sure what else you want me to say. So could be a political thing, could be just a common sense thing. Could be that she can't access it right now. Like I say, I don't know what answer she's hoping for. If she's just going into one of the hospital clinics, like when I got sick a few weeks ago and I had that viral infection, I went to the hospital and I get seen by whatever GP is there and they just have my records. So it might be she's planning on doing that, seeing the GP because it's cheaper than having a kind of emergency situation, and then they can always send her to emergency if they need to, and then just going with whatever doctor she's got, because she won't have a choice in that.
But at least I have a bit of appetite back, which is kind of a good sign, but I'm still so lethargic and tired, and I just want to be curled up in bed. 1 minute I'm hot, 1 minute I'm cold, but I gotta go out, I know it. But I need a bit of strength, so
where's Salah? Why hasn't Salah just poured her into the car and taken her somewhere? The love of her life.
Like I said, get something super healthy. There's a lot of healthy food services here.
So she's just gonna order diet food again? Man, go to see somebody. Go to see somebody if you can. If you can being the operative word.
Like really clean, healthy, diabetic friendly food. So I'll just maybe have something enough to get some strength. And then Salah will take me to the doctor. I
don't know. At this point, the problem she's had up until now is that her youth has meant that a lot of the physical problems that she's had are mostly fixable through diet. But it's been so long now and they're getting so severe that that is no longer the case. And so it becomes a lot more urgent. And she's putting herself in such a difficult situation. Putting herself in, I absolutely acknowledge. She doesn't need to be in Kuwait right now. But she's putting herself in such a difficult situation. She's backing herself into this corner because she thinks the old ways, if she just sticks to them this time, will help. And on a long-term basis, yes, they probably would. She won't stick to them long-term. But this is an acute situation. She needs to have it addressed.
I'm sorry I'm talking like this. It must be annoying to listen to, but...
No more than usual.
This is all I can give you right now, honestly. I'm so depleted. I weighed myself.
Again, priorities. Can't get out of bed, can't drag myself into the car, but I can drag myself over to the scale.
2 days ago. And I was like 152 kg.
Okay. I got nothing to say on that because we don't know.
But I'm I'm not saying that as like a victory. I'm just telling you in relation to, you know, the weight loss and being sick.
Yeah, well, priorities, I suppose.
It's not in a healthy way, so there's nothing to celebrate. Anyway. That's an update for you. I'm sorry that I worried so many people.
Not sorry enough to get yourself some help, but sorry.
I can imagine how worried some people were because, you know, my health is not good.
I can imagine her family is worried. I feel bad for them right now. Even though they know what she's like, I feel bad for them. Because if the answer is, I can only go back to Canada and get this treatment, I can absolutely believe that she's in a situation right now where she couldn't fly. Like, she had so many dangers anyway, and if she's not fit to fly, if she looks like she's going to collapse in the air, they're not going to let her on the plane.
So,
even if she could manage it.
Yeah, coincidentally happened right after the Camel incident.
Coincidentally, maybe. How do you know? You haven't been a doctor. You got sores on the inside of your nose.
The last time I got sick right after the Camel, it was more of a flu, like respiratory thing.
The last time? Did she tell us last time? I don't even remember. I blocked it out.
We'll see.
I mean, assuming you survive long enough.
Guys.
That was a bit harsh, but true.
Thanks for tuning in, and I'll keep you guys updated as often as I can.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I'm not sure what it's going to do for her unless she gets some actual help, which is basically her life in a nutshell. I do think the situation is quite scary. Again, she's done it to herself. She couldn't have foreseen the political changes going on there right now, but the health stuff, the fact that she was going to need help, the fact that she was putting herself in a position where it was more difficult to access, that stuff she had been told and could foresee. So she just thinks she's invincible. So that's the way it goes. All right, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to get this uploaded. Sorry it's short. I'm just very conscious that I don't want that to get worse. I'm probably going to ice it while I edit a little bit and keep an eye on things. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.